You know, I really wish somebody made this video for me when I started selling on Amazon, specifically in Canada. Nobody out there is making the content for us Canadians. It's only Americans giving American advice. And it's not like that they're wrong. It's just that it's not the right advice. It's not advice for us. My name's Anthony Mancini. I've sold almost $2 million in the past 4 years on Amazon, something like $16,000 unit shipped. I was from a 9-to-5 corporate job, not happy, was able to escape it. Now I do this full time. And, you know, I thought to myself, why not be the person to give the content to you and actually teach you how to sell on Amazon, specifically in Canada, in this 100% free guide, right? I want to get right into how you can start selling today, or at least after this video, get yourself set up to start selling and actually get a unit sold this year in 2026. So let's get right into it. First, we got to understand what is selling on Amazon exactly, because it's not just straightforward. There's different ways to sell on Amazon. There's private label. That's something like where you own the brand, but that's so expensive. You got to deal with China, long shipping times. That's not what I want to do. Then other people are going to talk about something like wholesale. That's a popular one where you're dealing with licensed distributor, but you're talking on the phone a lot, getting 20 no's, 40 no's, 100 no's before you maybe get a yes. And even then, that's really tough. And you need a lot of money for the minimum order quantities that these wholesalers want to sell you. What we do is just we buy from retailers, right? It's Amazon online arbitrage. That's the brother and sister with retail arbitrage. I teach online arbitrage where we're just buying from Walmart, Canadian Tire, Sephora, and we're identifying on Amazon the same product, but double the price, and we're just flipping it. It's really as easy as that. Now, of course, what makes it difficult for Canadians is we don't have the volume like they in the United States have. They're 10 times the amount of people, and the consumer habits there are way more. So we got to do it specifically different. And that's what I'm here to teach you today. So if that really interests you, and the idea of just buying from these retail websites, getting it shipped to your house, or even a prep center, if that's your type of thing. But the important part is that it just gets delivered to you, you prep it, you ship it back to Amazon, and you're good to go. So I'm going to tell you everything there is to learn about OA, online arbitrage, in this video, in the next coming slides. All I want to tell you about is my Skool Academy. It's completely free. The link is in the description. If that's something you want to learn more, there's a whole free course in there that teaches you everything from making the shipments, everything, all of the above. So if this video delivers value, don't forget after to go and join in the Skool. All right. So let me teach you right now how to sell on Amazon, specifically for online arbitrage. So in today's roadmap, we're going over three main things. We're going over sourcing mindset. So how to actually you find products on Amazon. And we're going to do a live demo right after we're done this whole theory part. So stick around. We're also talking about brand restrictions, because you're going to see eventually you're not going to be able to sell all the brands. And I'm going to tell you how you can work around that to find products that you can sell. And then eventually we're also at the end going to do the full loop. I'm going to do it live with you, and I'm going to go find a product so we can sell, you and I, right? At the end of the day, I'm going to make the profits, but something that is possible so you can see it live in action. Okay. So by the end of this, you're going to exactly understand how to think, not just what to do. So let's get this started. The two key softwares that you're going to need, they're going to be in the link in the description. It's Keepa. That's going to be the one giving us the data. And don't worry, I'm going to showcase these a little later in the video. But Keepa is the one, it's the only software that you must have. It's what's giving us how much things are selling, the historical price, how fast they're selling. It's giving us the volume, and it's also giving us all the seller information. So this is the one that we absolutely need. And then the second one is Seller Amp. Seller Amp is going to be our calculator. It's going to help us actually go into these storefronts of other sellers and see what they're selling to go and essentially go and cherry pick the best products. So I also have a video on how to actually set up your Seller Amp settings. I'll put that in the description too. But all you need to know is these are the two key softwares I'll be demonstrating a little bit later. And it's really not that expensive. We're not running an expensive business model here compared to like wholesale or private label. Keepa is going to be like $30 a month. I'm just spitballing here, and so is SellerAmp. This whole business model, even with a little bit more softwares, will cost you maximum like $100, $200 a month, and you should be able to print way more than that in your first few months of Amazon. So the first essential thing I want to talk about is ROI. Everyone talk. If you're going to watch other American videos, or if there's other content creators, they're always going to talk about 30% ROI. That's the magic number we hear here in the space. And I'm not challenging it's wrong, but I just want you to question it a little bit further. It's a trap question because it's always a case-by-case basis. 30% of a product that costs $10 is only $3 in profit. And guess what? If we're all buying that unit and we're all sending and there's way too much stock on the inventory, well, we're eventually going to start cutting our costs and cutting the sale price. And that $3 could turn into $0 very, very quick. And if there's no volume on the listing, because like I say, in United States, there's volume. So you can sell a $3 profit product 150 times and it's going to be very profitable. But here in Canada, if it sells 10 times per month and we're 4 or 5 sellers on it, well, now you're fighting for literal scraps because the profits are really not that high. Versus something that maybe makes only 15% ROI, but it sells 20 times and it makes you $15 in profit. That's way better, right? So you got to challenge the way you think about the ROI equation with Amazon online arbitrage, because a higher ROI product does not always equal a better product, certainly in Canada. Volume plays way more of an important role in the decision making of a product more than anything. And that's what we're going to demonstrate in the live portion of this video a little later. So the main trap that you're going to see over here is high ROI. So something that's going to make you 200% ROI, 100% ROI, but there's no sales and it's essentially just dead inventory. And even worse is if it makes only 30% ROI and in reality there's no sales. So we got to be careful for those triggers here in Canada. And you gotta learn to read Keepa like a storybook. And we're gonna do that. Again, I'm being annoying with that, but it's true. We're gonna go over everything later. But right now, all I want you guys to understand is there's 3 main lines we're gonna be looking at. There's going to be the sales rank line. That's going to be our green line. Try to remember this. It's going to be our green line, the sales rank. And if you think about it, the number 1 ranked product on Amazon is going to be selling a ton, right? So if it's ranked 100,000 and it drops to 90,000, we can assume it probably sold a unit because it got better in ranking. So every time it drops, that's kind of telling us the volume. It's telling us how many times a product is actually selling. And the buy box price is going to be a pink one. Okay, now I'm challenging you. There's going to be 3 colors to remember. Right now we got green for sales rank, but now we're going to get pink for buy box. And that's the price history. And it's really interesting because the price history is going to bounce up and down or stay stable if it's a good product, but often in correlation between the sales rank, which is the volume, and the seller count. So the last color is the blue line, which is going to be at the bottom of the chart. And that's how many people are on the listing. So you know that famous line, supply demand? Well, here we have our supply in the seller count and we have demand in the green line. And that often is going to create our price, which is the buy box. And it's a dance between all 3. And that's how you read a Keepa graph. And that's what we're going to be doing in the product analysis part. And something to really keep in mind when we're looking at Keepa, because it tells us everything. It tells us what's good about a product. It tells us what's bad about a product. So the red flags, things you really want to be careful for when you're looking at Keepa graphs, is price tanking trends, things that are going down, right? I gave that example for that $3 ROI product before. Well, if there is a lot of sellers coming on the listing and you can see it, probably not a wise idea to jump on. You probably missed your opportunity. That's a clear red flag. So watch out for a lot of sellers coming into the listing, or a recent jump in price that's not realistic, right? Maybe for whatever reason, it dropped down to 1 seller and that guy put his price at something super high, but everyone is going to jump on that listing and the price is going to just go back down to what it was before. And if you're not careful, you could potentially buy something that is unprofitable at the average price. And last but not least is seasonality. Watch out, guys. Right now I'm filming this. We're in April. If you're buying winter products, and you're using the Keepa data as recent history, it might not be telling the full truth because it's a lagging indicator. It's using the data of the past month or 2. So don't use that data if we're changing seasons. And on that note for Keepa, there's also green flags. You want stable ranks. You want stuff that is moving the quicker the possible, the better towards number one. But you don't want things slowly rising. You want something that is consistent. And talking about consistency, you want consistent pricing. You don't want surprises. You don't want to expect to sell at one price, send your stuff in, and then it goes all the way down because the fluctuation in pricing was very volatile. You want to stay away from those types of things. Also, you want to stay away from Amazon, right? There's going to be ways, and that's how we're going to source later, where you're going to be able to put filters. And we do not want Amazon in our listing. We want to compete with other people like us, not the big boy seller like Amazon. It's kind of a no-brainer. Something else that's good is low seller count, because when we start seeing a decline in seller count, that means one, things are probably selling because seller count is going down. And two, it gives us more control over pricing. Less amount of sellers, less supply, price is probably going up, right? So last but not least, historical stability. So we have just a nice even graph that doesn't give us surprises. As you guys see, I talk about consistency a lot, and that's what we're trying to go after with the Keepa graphs. So how do you walk away from a product even though it might be good? For you as a new seller, okay, as you get better, then you can introduce them, but stay away from variations. I'm going to show you what that is a little later, but variations is when there's multiple products on one Amazon listing, and that's just confusing because the data that we're going to get through Keepa, okay, is going to be mixed all throughout, where we just are used to seeing just one product at a time. So stay away from that for now. Stay away from anything that gets flagged heavy oversized. And by the way, how are you going to know this? Seller Amp, that software we're going to talk about, that I talked about, is also telling you all these notifications. So that's why it's very useful to have. So heavy oversized products is going to cost you a lot of money to send to Amazon. And then it's also going to cost a lot of money for Amazon to ship it to the client. So for now, stay away from that too. Hazmat and restricted, stay away from. Think about it this way. Are you going to bring it on a plane? Don't bring it to Amazon. So no perfumes, no canisters, nothing that could blow up. You cannot send that to Amazon. And last but not least, low dollar per sale in a high competition. I hinted at that before. $3 ROI, that's not that great if you have 20 sellers on the listing. The price is probably going to go down. So stay away from that. Next, we're going to talk about something that you guys are going to notice very quick. My account and your account were kind of different. I've been selling for 4 years. I've done almost 2 million in sales. We talked about that. And you have a brand new account. So why would I have the same amount of access as you? Statistically speaking, the new seller is a scammer, right? If you're looking at it at a number point of view, the older your account, the more mature you probably are. It's just a big numbers game. So Amazon, it will just restrict you to make you prove yourself a little bit. And that's our moat. I'm happy. I'm sorry to be selfish. I'm happy. Right now, it's a little bit harder for you. But if you continue and you actually grind through this, it's only going to get easier for you. And think about it. Amazon needs to protect the brands. They need to protect themselves, and they need to protect the customer. That's their main role. It's not really you. You're just the third party in here helping them do this. So it seems hard now, but don't worry. It's a good thing. That's what's going to help us. It's going to help you in the future by protecting new sellers jumping onto your listings. So how do you actually open up your account? Think about it. Sales velocity, the more you sell, the more you're proving to Amazon that you are a good seller. You have no account strikes, or as limited as possible. You're showing that you are very good with your documentation. And sometimes it's just about time, right? It's about just having proof of existence for us and actively selling for years or months down the line. And then the category itself also plays a big role. If you are specializing in one more category, well, that category might get more ungated for you. So at this point, let's go do live sourcing. I'm going to show you all you need for you to Seller Amp, Keepa, and we're just going to go ahead and go find a product. So stick with me and let's go do that right now. All right, guys, here we are. Keepa.com. And then I click Pro Product Finder. This is everywhere we're going to see the products. Like, it's going to be as easy as that. All you need other than that is Seller Amp, right? This is the website for Seller Amp. You got to sign up for it. And what that does is when you're on an Amazon page, it just gives us all this data that we're going to check later, right? It tells us, are we allowed to sell the product? It gives us the calculator for the Amazon fees. And then the actual Keepa, by the way, that software is all this graph stuff. So that was just an example. Right now, All you need to do is sign up for Keepa and sign up for SellRamp and join me here on the Keepa page. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down and we're going to find a category. This is the first thing that I want you to do. We're going to go all the way down to category and we're going to pick something. So let's go and pick health and personal care. It's a personal favorite of mine, to be honest. So this is 6 million products. These are all the products, guys, that exist on Amazon. And that's way too many for us to go ahead and go check. So we're going to add a couple more filters. We're going to scroll all the way up, right? And we're going to find the Amazon line. We're going to make sure it's out of stock. So this eliminates all the products Amazon has. Then what we're going to do is we're going to press Control F and write variation. So we can just go no variations. We're taking away all those red flags from before. That's already 3 million products gone. Then again, we're scrolling back up to get to the point. You can follow all this later, right? To a total offer count. And the reason I don't want one offer count is because that's often going to be brand owners by themselves. So I'm going to put minimum 2 sellers and all the way up to 8 sellers, just because over that, it starts getting overkill. And now you see we're starting to grind this down. We're at 140,000 products, but that's not enough. I want to get that a little bit lower. So let's talk about sales rank, right? Remember, that's what I was talking about volume before. So how about we cap this at something like 40,000? You'd think 40,000 is really, really high, but that's still a pretty good sales rank. So now we have 5,000 products to actually check. And last but not least, what I like to do is set myself a minimum buy box, so a minimum price of at least 20 bucks, right? So now we're getting down to 3,000 products. And a little hint here, a little free tip for you guys, the 30-day drop percentage on the buy box, right? What does that mean? That means I want a maximum drop, right? So we don't want a dropped price, but we want a maximum drop of 10%. So we're saying, hey, I want it to be really stable. And as you can see, it dropped down to 730 products now for us to check that have all these filters down, right? 40,000 sales rank, minimum 20 bucks, that the price isn't dropping, that Amazon doesn't have stock, that has minimum 2 to 8 sellers. So it's a lot of filters for the absolute best results. So we're just going to do find products. And I'm going to do this and you're going to see something special. You're going to see it start lighting up like a Christmas tree with a bunch of lights. That's because I'm developing a software right now called CanFlip. And it just essentially helps you see what you're allowed to sell right on the Keepa page. If you want it, it's not available for sale yet, right? You can start seeing like there's all the yellows means I can't sell it. I need approval, but everything that's in green means that I am allowed to sell. So it just allows us to go and see what we're allowed to sell so much easier. So if you want this in my Skool Academy, that link is in the description. When I make this officially for sale, you'll be able to get it there. I'll make it cheap as a subscription. Don't worry about it. But that's just going to make it easier. For you, you're not going to see these colors and you're going to have to actually open up the products one by one to go see if you're ungated or not. But now that we're actually able to sell and see what we're able to sell, we're only going to open up the things that are green. Right, so you can see if I put my mouse on the image, it'll show up the types of products. So I'm just going to start opening up a bunch of products that are green for me that I know that are ungated here. So like natural factors, let's keep going down. Blanco, barkeeper's friends. Let's keep going down here. Natural factors. So let me go and open up all these product pages to the Amazon page, and we're going to go and look at every single one and see, can we sell it? Are these colors right? And can we buy it at a profitable price? So product number 1 here, we're going to scroll down and look at this Keepa chart. Remember those colors I was telling you about? We have the pink line, we have a blue line, and we have this green line in the middle here. And those are the 3 lines that we're looking at mainly. And we can see a beautiful, stable chart, something that is $26 for since February, right? If we look inside that pink box, you can see the price. And you can see it was a little bit lower back in early January, mid-January at 23. But right now, the pricing is around that $26 mark. And actually, right this instant, somebody came down to 23 bucks. So we're going to evaluate this product between $23 and $26. And using SellRamp, again, we get all this data. We could just press one button, this Google button, and we could go see what is being sold at other stores. So you can see we have it 16 bucks at Pacific Aid, but that's way too expensive. we're looking for a minimum price of $10. That's how easy it is to evaluate a product. We're just going to move on to the next one because we can see that it's way too expensive. If we're getting close to the price, maybe we'll investigate a bit more to see if we can get coupons. But at this point, it was better to just move on to the next one. So here we have natural factors, but we need the exact same product. The first product that popped up doesn't seem to be really the exact same. You can see the product looks different. So the $27 looks to be more of a realistic price of the product, and we're looking for it at a minimum of 20. So it's okay if we don't hit all the time. You can see we're 0 for 2 actually, but that's fine. Let's move on to the next one and make sure that we just get one in our day today. So here we're looking for $12. The odds that we're going to get it is not that great. Again, 11 for MSM for 1,000 milligrams. And this is also 1,000 milligrams from iHerb. So this is a potential candidate here. As we can see, there's 240 capsules, only 90 capsules in this one. So you see, this is not the right product. It doesn't match. So let's just keep on going. See the next product here, Blanco. It looks like it's for $24 at this place. Rona has it for what price? At $31. So it seems like an expensive product, not something, again, that we're looking for. So you can see we're doing fast-paced sourcing to actually see if we can get this product. So this product's $4 a Canadian Tire, but we need 2 of them for $3.52. So it's just not worth to get it. We might run through these whole products and not get one, but the beauty about it is there's so many products on Amazon, we can just keep on going and eventually we will hit one. So here we have $10.99, which is getting close to our minimum price over there. Here we are looking for a 30 gram. So you see, this is the 15 grammer that popped up. The 30 gram might actually be a little bit more expensive. So actually, seems like, no, the 30 was $16.99, so way too expensive. Completely fine, right? Next, we're going to look for something Coroplast here. Let's open this up, see the pricing. So we have $7.99 for Coroplast. If this is the same product, 175 mLs. This is a 350 ml. So we're getting similar reasons to eliminate a product. And this is the way we source. It's just quickly going through these, looking at the Keepa chart. Is it balanced? We're looking at $22.69. So we're looking for this product around $10. Maybe we'll get it, maybe not. This is $9.99, 60 capsules for 90 capsules. Doesn't look like it's vitamin B12, not the same product. We're on to the next one. Eventually we will hit. I have confidence. I've done it many times. So here we have $2.49 from Staples for one of these boxes here, which seems to be similar. Now we just got to make sure the label is different. It's plus lotion. Okay, because this is the label for 4 boxes together. We can actually see it's the same type of product. So I do truly believe that it is the same box in here that is getting delivered because it's a 4-pack. So now we got $2.49 times 4. So it's 24% ROI at $2.41 and actually has a lot of volume. So if we're selling it for $25.99, there's monthly sold of $50. So we would be able to actually potentially get like somewhat to $100 if we would be able to sell 50 of these. But I agree, it's not the best necessarily lead in the world. But look, Staples has it. We have a clear lead here that it's $2.49. If we buy 4 of these, we can bundle these together and potentially get some sales here. But then we're just going to keep on going for a little bit. We're going to find some more products. Here we can see a great example of a hazard, that dangerous good flag. So we cannot sell this product FBA. So now we're just going to go back to our product finder and we can just keep on looking for more products, right? This is the beauty of Keepa Product Finder, is it doesn't just end. We have unlimited amount of products. So we're just going to learn though is these natural factor products were not hitting for us. So we're going to stop opening them up. We're just going to learn from our mistakes and we're going to just get better and better at what we click at. So just for the better odds of finding a potential product, Buckley's, we haven't opened up anything with Buckley's yet. Water, gel, I'm not too sure about that type of product. So let's keep on going down. let's go run through these listings too. So let's go see, maybe this Kirkland product is better in store than on the actual website itself. But this is a pack of 120. This is a pack of 120, and it's $49.99 here online, where we're looking for more like the $30. So this might be a better play in store, which is completely fine. Next we go Arm & Hammer here. We're looking for $5, which is close. We're looking for extra. It's trash can deodorizer that we're actually looking for. So sometimes we can just remove all this stuff in the middle to maybe get this at like Walmart. Seems like it's just out of stock. So again, we're quickly moving through our products. Stanfield here, it's underwear. Looks like we can get it for $17. It's a 6-pack of large. We're actually looking for large, whereas this looks like an XL. So, but it looks promising because the XL is at $17. Can we get it in large? So I'm gonna open up the listing on Amazon. Here we can open up the large listing. And we can see it's $17 for this 6-pack. So we're looking for a 6-pack Stanfield men's brief. Stanfield men's, this is George actually, it's not Stanfield. So what about that lead though that was back when we opened up Google? It looked interesting. It did say Stanfield at the beginning. So let's open up that one, the medium one, and go open the large. Okay, so a little bit more expensive, $23.97. Is right on that mark here. We're looking at 22% ROI, $5 profit. Another very, very, very healthy listing at standarding $47. Right now, there's an FBA at 45, but we can see the average is around 47. So if we bring this up closer to 47, we're making $6 on every lead. We can maybe send in like 20, 30, 40 of these and start actually making good profit. So if we buy like 30 of these, how much profit is that? It's going to be $200 of profit. So this is another potential product here that's not necessarily 30% ROI, but that can actually give us solid dollars. And let's look at our last leads here. Sorry, this cannot ship to my address. Okay, so this is a potential product that we don't want to look at. Let's just keep on going. We have 2 more products. Maybe we can get them, maybe not. We can see the average is not always a hit. We can see a different label, but looks like to be a similar product, CLR, even at $8.96 here. And we're looking for $9.47. So yeah, the label isn't necessarily the same, but as long as it's like it's a foaming cleaner with a fresh scent. So let's go and get a little zoom in on this product, can we? It looks like it's because this is a French English label, whereas Canada, we're going to get that a lot. Whereas this is the United States logo because it's English and Spanish. So this is actually a very interesting product that we could potentially get here for $8.96 with a different label. But it's completely fine as long as it's the exact same product. So another product here at 37% ROI at the current price, and it's being sold by FBM. That means they're selling it and it's getting sold May 11th to June 1st. So if we send this to FBA, I'm sure we can get to some sales there. So that's another product that we just found. We saw finding 2-3 profitable products in a session of around 15-20 minutes. You can do this too. I have a ton of videos on my channel. And if you are serious about selling on Amazon and wanting to do what I just did, you can go and join my Skool Academy. And I have a whole free course there that you can completely learn for free. So I'll see you in my Skool Academy.